Greetings to all saints who have hope in heaven. I am Jung-Woo Lee, the lecturer for today's lesson. Today, we will learn Introductory Lesson 3 regarding the figurative seed and field. Going forward, we will learn about the parables of the secrets of the kingdom of heaven. I hope you open your eyes, ears, and heart and earnestly receive the word so that you can grow in your faith. Today's main reference is Matthew chapter 13, verses 31 to 32. Matthew is a book recorded by Matthew, who was a tax collector, also called Levi, and one of Jesus' 12 disciples in Jerusalem about 2,000 years ago. It is composed of a total of 28 chapters. Matthew is one of the 4 Gospels in the New Testament, where the fulfillment of the Old Testament and the prophecies of the New Testament are recorded. Among them, Matthew chapter 13, which is the main reference for today, is about the parables where Jesus explains the spiritual meaning of the kingdom of heaven by using the physical characteristics in the world. In order to know the reason why we need to understand the figurative seed and field, we will first read the main reference together. He told them another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed, which a man took and planted in his field. Though it is the smallest of all your seeds, yet, when it grows, it is the largest of garden plants, and becomes a tree, so that the birds of the air come and perch in its branches. Jesus told a parable that the kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed, which a man took and planted in his field. This means that the kingdom of heaven becomes the mustard seed planted in the field. Since he spoke in parables, we must certainly perceive the meaning of the figurative seed and field in order to understand the kingdom of heaven that we hope for. Now, we will learn about the true meaning of the figurative seed and field. What are the true meanings of the figurative seed and field? To tell you what the true meanings are, the seed is the word, and the field is a person's heart and a church. Now, we will look at why we get these answers and confirm through the Bible. First, we will take a look at the figurative seed. Before learning about the figurative seed, we will look at how important this parable of the seed is. Jesus said in Mark chapter 4, verse 13, "If you do not understand this parable of the seed, how will you understand any parable?" This means that this parable of the seed is the basics and foundation of all parables of the kingdom of heaven. What is the reason for this? Since the seed itself is a parable, the field where the seed falls is also a parable. The tree grown from this field is also a parable, and the bird that perches on this tree is also a parable. Also, the sky where this bird flies will then be a parable, and the sun, moon, and stars in the sky will also be parables. Then, isn't it important that we perceive all these parables in order to understand and enter into the kingdom of heaven? However, we must understand that this parable of the seed is the most important and the basic foundation of all parables that needs to be understood first before knowing all parables. Therefore, please keep in mind that you are learning the most important parable, and I hope you keep your heart and thoughts focused, listen well, and perceive through today's lesson. A parable is used to explain the spiritual meaning by using its physical characteristics. To know about the true meaning of the figurative seed, let's first think about its physical characteristics. First, all living things begin their life through a seed, right? A characteristic of the seed is that it is the origin of life. Second, there is the saying, "You reap what you sow." We often see the saying, "As one sows, so shall he reap." There is a hereditary characteristic in the seed, where you reap what you sow. Do you understand? The true meaning of the parables has been hidden with such physical characteristics. So, thinking about these characteristics, we will learn about the true meaning of the figurative seed. There is a part where Jesus explained well about the true meaning of the figurative seed. We will read Luke chapter 8, verse 11 together. This is the meaning of the parable. The seed is the word of God. Jesus said, "This is the meaning of the parable. The seed is the word of God." This means that the seed is the word. Since the seed is the word, Jesus also explained that the farmer sows the word in Mark chapter 4, verse 14. What is actually being sown is the seed. However, since the spiritual seed is the word, Jesus expressed it as sowing the word. The true meaning is delivering the word. Also, it is recorded in 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 23, "For you have been born again, not of perishable seed, but of imperishable, through the living and enduring word of God." There are many kinds of seeds in the world, but there is no such thing as an imperishable seed. However, since it is said that there is an imperishable seed, this is not a physical seed, but a spiritual seed, which is the Word. Like this, we were able to see the true meaning of the figurative seed through a couple of verses. What is the true meaning of the figurative seed? Yes, it's the Word. It is important to know that the seed is the Word, but it is more important to know why the Word was figuratively referred to as the seed. Just like there is the physical characteristic of life in the seed, it means that there is also life in the spiritual seed, which is the Word. So, in John chapter 1, verses 1 to 4, it is said that there was life in the Word. And in John chapter 3, verses 3 to 5, it is said that no one can enter the kingdom of God unless he is born again. I hope all of you are born again, not with the physical seed, but with the spiritual seed, which is God's Word, and enter into the kingdom of heaven. We will look at the types of figurative seeds. In the world, there are many different types of physical seeds. However, how many types of figurative seeds do you think are in the Bible? There are two types of seeds. Why do you think there are two types? We can call this figurative seed the spiritual seed. Since there are two spirits, there are also two types of seeds. We know that there are two types of spirits, which are God and the devil. Therefore, there are also two types of seed, which are God's seed and the devil's seed, that is, God's word and the devil's word. Do you understand? So, we learned about the types of figurative seeds. It is important to know that the seed is the word, and there are two types of seeds. But now, we will be looking at how important this figurative seed is to us through the Word. This is the importance of the figurative seed. In Jeremiah chapter 31, if you look at verse 27, God came to the prophet Jeremiah about 2,600 years ago and said two types of seeds will be sown in one field, which are the seed of man and the seed of beast. Since it is said that the days are coming when the seeds will be sown, it is a prophecy, right? Then, when does this prophecy become fulfilled? When you look at Matthew chapter 13, verses 24 to 25, at the first coming of Jesus, which is about 600 years after the promise, Jesus said, "The kingdom of heaven is like a man who sowed good seed in his field. And his enemy came and sowed weeds among the wheat." We can say that the promise made through Jeremiah was fulfilled at the first coming of Jesus. Whose seed is this seed of man, which is the good seed, and the seed of beast, which is the weed? If you look at Matthew chapter 13, verses 37 to 39, it says, "The one who sowed the good seed is the Son of Man." Then, who is the Son of Man? The Son of Man is Jesus, who is the Son of God. Jesus received the seed from God and delivered God's seed. So, Jesus sowed the seed of the gospel of heaven with his disciples. Therefore, we can say that the good seed is the seed of God. Also, it is said that the enemy who sowed the weeds is the devil, so we can say that the weeds are the seed of the devil. Therefore, God's seed is God's word, which is the truth, or the word of truth. The devil's seed is the devil's word, which is the word of lies. It is not just knowing that there are two types of seeds, but we must understand and perceive the different results from being born of these two types of seeds. In Matthew chapter 13, verse 38, it says that the good seed stands for the sons of the kingdom, and the weeds are the sons of the evil one. Then, what does this verse tell us? In order to learn about this verse in more detail, we will read 1 John chapter 3, verses 9 to 10 together. No one who is born of God will continue to sin, because God's seed remains in him. He cannot go on sinning, because he has been born of God. This is how we know who the children of God are and who the children of the devil are. Anyone who does not do what is right is not a child of God, nor is anyone who does not love his brother. It states that those who are born of God will not sin, because God's seed remains in them. And they are the sons of the kingdom, who are the children of God. Then, what can we perceive through this word? Do you become the children of God, who enter into the kingdom of heaven if you just attend church diligently? Or, if you just say you believe in Jesus fervently? Not entirely, correct? If you just say you believe in God and call God Father, that does not make God your Father. According to Scripture, if you are truly God's children, then there should be God's word of truth, that is, God's seed, in the center of your heart. We must understand and perceive this fact. On the contrary, who are the children of the devil that are the sons of the devil? Those who have the devil's seed, not God's seed, inside of them, can be called the children of the devil. Even if they carry out their life of faith diligently, because they do not have God's seed in the center of their heart, they are children of the devil. If you look at John chapter 8, verses 44, about 2,000 years ago, Jesus said to the Jews, who prayed every day and fasted 2 or 3 times a day, that they belong to their father, the devil. This is because there was no seed of God's word of truth in the Jews at that time, and they made up lies and acted like the devil. That is why Jesus said they were the children of the devil. Even though we might say we are saved, we are Orthodox, or we receive the Holy Spirit when carrying out our life of faith, if we do not have God's seed in our heart, then we become the children of the devil. That is why this seed is so important, because whichever seed I am born with determines if I am God's child or the devil's child. Therefore, what is the secret of the kingdom of heaven? The secret of the kingdom of heaven is the seed, since we are divided into either heaven or hell according to what kind of seed we are born with. Do you understand? Believers who have hope in heaven should think about what kind of seed one is born with in the center of their heart. If one does not have God's seed, the word of truth, then one should be born again with God's seed and become his children. Now we will take a look at the figurative field. First, we will think about its physical characteristics. The field is a place where seeds are sown, and the place where fruits grow from the seeds that have been sown. Then, what is the spiritual meaning of the figurative field that has such physical characteristics? In 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 9, Apostle Paul said, "You are God's field and God's building." This means that a person is a field. What kind of field is it? If you look at Luke chapter 8, verse 15, Jesus said, "Good soil stands for those with a noble and good heart." From this, we know that the true meaning of the figurative field is the heart of a man. Like I mentioned before, there are two meanings to this figurative field. One meaning was the heart of a man, and the other meaning was a church, right? We will read Matthew chapter 13, verse 38, and think about why it is a church. The field is the world, and the good seed stands for the sons of the kingdom. The weeds are the sons of the evil one. Jesus said, "The field is the world." What kind of world is this world? The world where Jesus' seed was sown. So, we can say it is the church of Jesus that received Jesus' word. Therefore, the true meaning of the figurative field in the Bible is a person's heart and a church. When this field is a church, then what should be the purpose of attending a church? Attending a church itself does not make you earn salvation and the kingdom of heaven, right? If you look at Matthew chapter 13, verses 24 to 30, a church, which is Jesus' field, is a place where Jesus sowed the seed about 2,000 years ago, and where the devil sowed weeds among them. This means two kinds of seed are growing in one field until the time of harvest. What did Jesus promise to do at the time of harvest? Jesus said he would guide wheat-like believers, born with the word of truth, or the seed of heaven, to the heavenly barn, through the harvesters, who are the angels. Our purpose of attending a church should not just end with attending the church itself, but we should enter into this heavenly barn by being harvested from the field at the time of harvest. This should be the purpose of our life of faith. Do you understand? So, we have learned about the figurative seed and field. Lastly, we will learn about the parable of the 4 types of fields where the seed was sown. Jesus spoke about the parables of the 4 types of fields in Matthew chapter 13, verses 3 to 8, through the parables of sowing seeds. The seed was sown in a field. This seed that was sown is one type, but this field has 4 types. The 4 types are path, rocky field, thorny field, and good soil. What kind of seed is this seed that was sown? And what kind of field is this field? this seed is the Word. Is not just rules taught by men, or the sealed word, but it is the word of the kingdom in Matthew chapter 13, verse 19. Therefore, this field that listens to the word of the kingdom is not just a field, but it is a person's heart that received the word of the kingdom. Then, right now, all of you are listening to the word of the kingdom of heaven, right? The word of the kingdom of heaven, spoken through parables, has opened and is now being delivered to you who are believers. So, like in John chapter 16, verse 25, now is not the time to speak figuratively, but the era to speak plainly. Now, I will explain everything one by one. I hope you listen well and think, how is this word related to me? In Matthew chapter 13, verses 18 to 19, Jesus said the seed sown along the path is when anyone hears the message about the kingdom and does not understand it. When you hear the word of the kingdom but do not understand it, what would happen? You will not be able to understand how fun and precious this word of the kingdom of heaven is. So the evil one will come and snatch away what was sown in your heart. Therefore, in order for us to not be like the path, but understand this word of the kingdom of heaven fully, we have to pray before God and make effort so that the evil one does not snatch this precious word away from us. The second is the rocky field. It is recorded in Matthew chapter 13, verses 20 to 21. It is said that the one who received the seed that fell on rocky places is the man who hears God's word and at once receives it with joy. But when trouble or persecution comes because of the word, he quickly falls away. The rock in this verse is like a hardened heart, which hinders the way for the word of the kingdom of heaven to deeply root. The devil hinders in every way so that God's seed that is sown into a person's heart will not take root. Surely, trouble and persecution will come to the believers who hear the word of the kingdom of heaven, right? This is the devil's intention, to make the believers give up so that they cannot enter into the kingdom of heaven. If you look at Matthew chapter 23, verse 13, Jesus said the teachers of the law and the Pharisees shut the kingdom of heaven. Not only did they themselves not enter, but they also did not let those enter who were trying to. How did they block the way to Jesus? They condemned and slandered Jesus by calling him a heretic. They blocked the door to the kingdom of heaven by making people's hearts anxious and scared. Similarly, when we receive this word of the kingdom of heaven, the devil can make people condemn us by calling us a heretic, just because we are learning this revealed word which tells us plainly about the secrets of the kingdom of heaven. Then, should our willingness to learn be weakened just by hearing those words and betray God? That should not occur, right? In Matthew chapter 5, verses 10 to 12, it is said that blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness. Trouble comes because we have received the true word. So, it is rather a thankful thing for us. Whatever persecution or trouble comes, we have to endure and overcome so that we can receive all the promised blessings. Third is the thorny field. In Matthew chapter 13, verse 22, The one who received the seed that fell among the thorns is the man who hears the word, but the worries of this life and the deceitfulness of wealth choke it, making it unfruitful. Therefore, the one who has one foot in the world and the other foot in heaven cannot always escape from the worries of the world. So, should we be the ones who do not understand the kingdom of heaven because we have our attention on worldly things while listening to the word of the kingdom of heaven? What good is money, fame, honor, and authority after we die? It's no use. Those things do not give us life. God is the only one that we need. And God is our only Savior. Everyone should follow God's word and enter into the kingdom of heaven. Lastly, we will learn about the good soil. Let's read Matthew chapter 13, verse 23 together. But the one who received the seed that fell on good soil is the man who hears the word and understands it. He produces a crop, yielding 100, 60, or 30 times what was sown. The one who received the seed that fell on good soil not only listened and kept the word, but also produced a crop. As a result, it yielded 100, 60, or 30 times what was sown. A crop, or fruit in this verse, refers to words, actions, and evangelism, which can all be given to God. So, believers who believe in eternal life and the kingdom of heaven should make themselves good soil so that they can bear fruit and produce a crop. There is the path that does not understand the word, the rocky field that betrays God when trouble comes, the thorny field that does not bear fruit because of the worries of the world, and the good soil that listens to the word of the kingdom, retains it, and by persevering produces a crop. Out of these 4 types of fields, what kind of field do you belong to? We should reflect on ourselves and think about which field we belong to. I hope all of us become good soil so that we can enter into God's kingdom. Now, I will summarize what we have learned. What was the title for today's lesson? It was The Figurative Seed and Field. It is said, the seed is the word. And there were God's seed, as well as the devil's seed. What was the requirement to become God's children? You need to have God's seed. So, we can say that the secret of heaven is the seed. And next, the field is a person's heart and church. That is all for today's lesson. In the next lecture, we will learn the introductory lesson 4 on the figurative tree and bird. Jesus said that the kingdom of heaven is like a bird that perches on a tree grown from the field in which the seed was sown. In the next lesson, I hope you fully understand the word and are born again with the faith that is like a rock, rather than a tree that is shaken by the wind. Thank you for watching.
If we do not understand the parables of the kingdom of heaven, our sins cannot be forgiven and we become outsiders. Today is the time to tell plainly, not in parables. Today is the time of harvest. Those who are harvested are the sons of heaven, while those who aren't harvested and remain at the field, their churches, are the sons of the devil. Let us be saved by having faith according to the promise.